my lovely students. A very warm welcome to all of you. My name is Anubha Gaur, your chemistry master teacher at Vedantu. And what are we going to do today? You can see on the screen. This session is very important to all the ICSE students because we are going to discuss a very famous and mysterious kind of a bonding called as coordinate bonding, coordinate covalent bonding. What exactly was that? And we are going to solve so many mysteries, like so many important questions that might be there in your mind, like how covalent bonding occurs and how you observe that oxygen and O3 ozone are two different molecules with two different kind of a bonding. How there are some category of solvents like ammonia, like water, they will self-ionize them under certain conditions and give you some ions, and they'll do some magic in chemistry. They'll do some magic with whatever you're going to put into it. So we are going to solve all the questions. Stay till the end. I am going to give you some questions, so try to solve it as well. I will really appreciate it. And this channel is a new channel, Vedantu 9th English channel, and we would love to have you all here. So please support it equally like you're supporting all the Vedantu channel. So are you all ready to have your session with Anubha ma'am? Hopefully yes. Give me a quick high five, ma'am. Super ready. Okay. So my team is ready to learn all the amazing things. But first, let's discuss the homework that I've given you. So do let me know that you are done with your homework or not. Hopefully yes. I'll definitely check it out. That is there still a problem? If there is a problem, students, I'll try to help you right now. The question was, is CO2 a polar compound? Is CCl4 carbon tetrachloride is soluble in water? So let's discuss this question one by one. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it right now. First of all, CO2, carbon dioxide gas, what exactly is this? That whether it's a polar covalent compound or a non-polar covalent compound. How to check it, everyone? First of all, we should know how to write it. That's a covalent kind of a molecule. How to decide that? When non-metal combines with a non-metal, that gives you covalent bonding. Now look, how to decide its structure. We can draw its Lewis dot structure. We did discuss that in the last class. My carbon is having 4 electron and my oxygen is having 6 electron. We can draw it, right? Oxygen 6 electron and my carbon with 4 electron. And how to draw its electron cloud, everyone? 6 electron of oxygen, it will share its electron with carbon. What we call it mutual sharing, which is very important. Every oxygen will share 2 electron from these this carbon, and carbon is like, I believe in mutual sharing. So as you have shared 2, you also have to share your 2 electron with me. So carbon will share 2 from here and definitely 2 from here. And what are the total number of electrons being shared between 2 atoms? Carbon, oxygen, total 4 electron, give you a double bond. Total 4 electron, give you a double bond. That means this is the structure we got. Carbon with 2 oxygen attached with a double and double bond. Now whether that's a polar or non-polar covalent compound, let's check it out. You know that that's totally depend upon the electronegativity between 2 atoms. The one which is more electronegative, the electrons are being pulled by that atom from that shared pair of electron. So this oxygen is like, hey carbon, I am more electronegative, I am pulling electron more towards myself, and that generates a polarity. Means charge separation, means I'm going to get a pole. Pole means a charge in like having difference in charge. So slightly positive and slightly negative charge. This is the direction of charge from positive to negative. Electrons are being pulled towards oxygen. Same on this side. Oxygen is more electronegative. So this is more of like a vector quantity. This dipole is having a direction from positive to negative. And what do we observe, students? That both of my dipole is having opposite direction, and that will cancel out each other. So total dipole moment is 0. Okay, total dipole moment is 0. Mu is the unit, mu. To denote the dipole moment, 0 means it just cancel out each other because of having an opposite direction, right? Suppose one is in this direction, one is in this direction, that will cancel out each other's effect. And total dipole moment is 0, and the substances having 0 dipole moment are non-polar ones. Okay, non-polar. So this is very easy now, how to decide that. Done, done, done. Very nice, very nice. What was the second question, everyone? The second question was whether CCl4 is soluble or non-soluble in water. That was the question. Do remember that I told you in the last session, like dissolves like. If you remember, I gave you the statement. Like dissolves like. Whatever is that substance that can dissolve such kind of a substances only. Water is a polar compound. We studied that in the last session. If CCl4 is also polar, they can be soluble into each other. All right, let's check it out. That's here. And do remember that my dipole moment is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means that is having a direction also, and that will tell us about two things, magnitude as well as direction. Vector quantity, I can get the magnitude of that substance also, as well as I'm going to have a proper direction of that quality or quantity. Okay, so let's decide, students, whether your CCl4 is a polar compound or a non-polar. CCl4 structure is nothing but like a tetrahedron. One carbon is attached to a chlorine in that direction, upward direction. These three chlorine attach in more of like a pyramid shape. Okay, that's a tetrahedron. Now, I'll tell you that vector quantity means this every bond is having a direction, polarity, charge difference, and the direction will be from positive end to the negative end. And we need to check what is the total sum of the vector, because that is going to play an important role to decide the dipole moment. So CCl, as you know, that chlorine is more electronegative. So the direction of the bond is from carbon to chlorine. The direction of charge separation from carbon to chlorine. In the same way, carbon chlorine more of like a trigonal like this, 1, 2 and 3. In this way, students, just a second. In what way, students? Let me just try to see. I'm going to take 3 pens. Okay, yes, yeah. So these are 3 pens I've taken. Suppose in between there is a carbon and 3 chlorine at the 3 end. They are going to generate a dipole moment. So the vector sum of all of these bonds will be here in between the 3 bonds. Okay, it's like the vector sum will be where it's somewhere the sum of all 3 bonds like this. Okay, as it is there with some angle. And the total magnitude of this 3 CCl bond, total magnitude of this dipole moment is almost equal to this 1 CCl bond in the upper direction. So it's like cancelling each other, opposite direction. So total dipole moment came out as 0, no net dipole moment, no overall charge separation, though CCl kind of a bond is a polar one, but overall polarity we need to check, that is 0. That totally means that it's a non-polar compound, and non-polar is not going to dissolve in a polar one, that is water. So it is water insoluble compound. Okay, this is a water insoluble compound. Hope you got it, what I wanted to say. That was your homework. I hope pretty much clear. You can see these notes for reference also. You will get the entire notes in the description box, okay, in form of a PDF. You can download it whenever you want. So homework is done. I hope there is a clarity. Now we'll talk about our main topic, that is coordinate covalent bonding and how that is different from other kind of bonding. So let's start, everyone. Let's know about that also. In the previous session, if you remember, we'll talk about this part also, that what is ammonia and what is water and what kind of a bonding they show. That was definitely covalent bonding, if I'm not wrong, right? Covalent bonding, right? So this is one step ahead of our covalent bonding, that what happened when my ammonia or my water is having an extra H positive ion. My H positive ion is going to combine with my ammonia and water. In what sense? We'll talk about this, and what kind of a bonding they'll show, we'll talk about this right away. All right, and that will give you what? Ammonia added with H positive is going to give us ammonium ion, polyatomic ion, right? When I have my H2O, my water, having H positive ion, I got my hydronium ion. So it's like the same question that I asked in the starting, that how I have some solvent like ammonia, water, they will show this property and they'll get some ions. How? By self-ionization. That's the part of themselves only. They can combine and generate some new kind of a positive or negative ions that will further take part in chemical reaction. All right. So we'll talk about it one by one. First of all, let's just be clear with the definition. That's a bond formed between two atoms by a pair of electrons provided entirely by one of the combining atom. So more of like one will be the donor, complete donor, and the other will be the complete acceptor. Do remember it. And we can relate it to this story. Understand? Suppose there are two brothers and one of the brother is in debt and needs some money, and other is like rich. So what will the one do? It's like, you need money, I'll give it, but I'll feel proud in that I have given you money, that was my money. Okay, so it's like that brother who is in rich form and the one who is in deficient in terms of money. So it's like, I'll give my money to you. Here that is electron pair and it totally belongs to me. So never say it, just I helped you. So these electron pair will still belong to nitrogen. It is completely going to hydrogen by not a complete transfer, but it's more of like a good cause of sharing. All right, and will not give you ions like positive and negative ions, because that was an ionic bonding by complete transfer. It's like a sharing of electron. By what mode? One will give, one will become a donor, other will become an acceptor. So what are the conditions? I hope you are pretty much clear with that. This kind of a bonding is also called as what? Dative bonding. Okay, dative bonding. Yeah. Okay, and whenever, suppose this nitrogen only is giving this electron to hydrogen which is in need, whenever electron is gone, we'll show this kind of arrow by telling that electrons are being transferred from nitrogen to hydrogen. All right, so we'll make this arrow in terms of showing a bonding. See one example in front of you, ozone. I told you how oxygen and ozone are two different kind of molecule completely. This is oxygen, right? This was my oxygen, and oxygen, even after showing bonding, is having these two electron pair on each of the oxygen, and whenever someone needed it, it's like, I'll give. So this oxygen, monovalent one, free, and wanted to feel stable, and you know that every oxygen is having 6 valence electron. For stability, it needed 2 more electron. As soon as it will get 2 electron, it will be stable. So this oxygen is telling, hey oxygen, you're coming, you belong to my family, let me help you. So it will give its 2 electron, means an electron pair to this. So what are the conditions? One should be rich in electron pair and one should be deficient of at least an electron pair. So the kind of bonding I told you, we will make this bond as a dative bond by this arrow. Oxygen, double bond oxygen, this bond is transferred, so I'll make this dative bond. Though you can show charge also, this is giving, this is accepting. So this will show slight positive charge, this slight negative. Anyway, overall will be no charge. Okay. So yeah, positive, negative can cancel each other. Okay. So what are the conditions? Pretty much clear that one of the substance, one of the atom must be in rich of electron pair. So at least have 1 extra pair of electron, and other condition will be at least one should be in need of an electron pair. Okay, so this is easy. Now I'll tell you how the formation of ammonium ion is going to form, and now I think you're pretty much clear because I've given you an example of ozone. So are you ready? We'll discuss so many beautiful examples, but before that I have to say that how Vedantu and all the team of Vedantu is trying their level best to give you quality education and trying to solve all the problems that you face in terms of solving your doubts, that your doubts are not getting solved in schools and in other offline institutes, you have to wait for so long and your doubts will remain doubts. And when in exam, you see the question paper, some of your doubts will haunt you. It's like, why this is happening? This part I was not clear with. So all of your doubts must be cleared instantly in the class only, and that is possible at our platform because we have master teachers and a group of class teachers who will also present in the session, totally dedicated to solve your doubts instantly. Apart from that, notes that you don't get proper notes of each and every session, you have to make one, and when you try with your best level, it won't come up all the time with the best way. And whenever you write, the same teacher is like, if you write this way, I can never give you full marks. And also 80 to 90% of your time is going to going in making notes, and then you're like, oh, when will I study? I am totally exhausted. So this problem must get solved. With test and assignment, after every session, you must do some questions so that, okay, I have done enough practice. If any question will come from this topic, see, I'm going to rock it. Test, if every 15 days there must be a test so that you won't forget whatever has been taught to you, because generally we forget things in 21 days. That is like a scientific logic. Competitive exams preparation, like side by side, if you want to prepare for NTSC, GSTSC, suppose JEE, NEET, Olympiad, you can do that side by side with the help of our foundation classes, which is going to be included. And choice of schedule and choice of language is like the best thing that you can have. You can choose your mode of communication, English and Hindi. You can choose your schedule also, that I am free at this moment of time. It's more of like student centric, that you decide your own schedule and manage your time accordingly and can study here. Isn't it amazing? So we believe in solving your doubts. We believe in solving all your problems at our platform with so much of bonuses, like you can attend unlimited live classes per day, 8 to 10 also, 2 also, whatever you can manage. All micro courses and crash courses, chapter based courses, crash courses, so that you will be having no doubt in your mind of your syllabus, and performance report after every session, that how you did in class. You can check your progress and personalize attention with all the master teachers and class teachers, and you'll see the kind of a bond that we are going to have, and you'll be like, yes ma'am, now it's like I'm getting everything and I'm so much confident than before. So solution of the problem is, you have to visit this link, and there you have to apply this coupon code AGEPRO. You'll get the link in the description box also, vdnt.in/YTPro. YTPro is capital, do remember it. And this page will be open. You have to select your grade, you have to select your target, ICSE, and then you have to click on get subscription and choose your subscription wisely, because you have subscription here for 1 month, 3 months and 6 months also, with extra benefit, because teacher will try their level best to give you extra discount. 1 month course was supposed to be for 4,000 at MRP. Vedantu is trying to give you discount because of this pandemic situation, 2699. After AGEPRO code, same course will be for 2294. It's like, I want to give it a try, how this platform will work and will it be suitable for me. You can give it a try, and trust me, you're going to have the best kind of experiences. English, mathematics, social science, all the science subjects, everything will be done here. 3 months extra discount. More the period of the subscription, more discount you can get here. 3 months, the course was for 10,000. After discount, 6,999. After AGEPRO code, 5,949. You can save extra, that to 27% on MRP. 1983 rupees per month you're going to give. 1983 per month for all the subjects, all the revision, all the foundation courses also is not like a bad deal at all. And see, 6 months, the maximum discount you can get, 16,000 to 11,499. But after AGEPRO code, you will get for 9,774. That means you're going to pay just 1629 rupees per month. And unlimited sessions, unlimited micro course, unlimited foundation classes, and fun experience in the classes as well. 1629 is like hardly you're going to pay 10 rupees per session. Isn't it amazing? That means it's better to not get some air in the 10 rupees in form of all the chips and kurkures, but you can definitely improve yourself here. Okay, so do not miss this opportunity. Do not forget to visit the link. Do not forget to apply the coupon code, that is AGEPRO. I am having a trust that some of you will come and see how it works, and you'll definitely love it. All right, tell your friends about this channel also. So students, let's talk about first of all how my formation of hydronium ion and how my formation of ammonium ion is going to occur. So let's do that. Let's discuss first of all ammonium ion. Okay, it's like we missed ammonium ion. I had to tell you. Okay, let's see how formation of ammonium ion is going to occur. This is basically a combination of, as I told you, my ammonia is having a free lone pair, and that was given a H positive ion. How? Let me try to remember you guys the structure of ammonia. When nitrogen is having 5 valence electron, my 3 hydrogen is having 3 valence electron and wanted to feel stable. So what will they do? It's like nitrogen and hydrogen are going to combine by making a single bond. Let me just show you. This hydrogen is like, let's believe in mutual sharing. Share your 1 electron with me, I'll be stable. Nitrogen is like, okay, I too believe in that sharing. 5, you also need to share your 1 electron with me. Electron cloud for this nitrogen. 8 electron rule, it's stable, nitrogen is stable. For hydrogen, it's 2 electron rule, duplet rule, and it's stable. Okay, what did we get, students? Single bond, single bond, single bond, and nitrogen is having a lone pair of electron which is free. So more of like nitrogen with 3 hydrogen having a lone pair. And as the condition is satisfied that my nitrogen is having a lone pair, that can totally attack on my hydrogen having no electron at all. So let's see how it is going to do that. Okay, this nitrogen is like, hydrogen, you needed at least 2 electron to be stable. I am giving you, you will be happy, you will be stable. So the kind of bonding I'm seeing is NHHH, and this is the dative bond. And you can also write it as electrons are completely transferred from nitrogen to hydrogen. Hydrogen charge cancel because it's stable, it gain electron. Nitrogen is showing positive charge. So overall, this will be your structure. NH4 positive, that's what the structure is about. I hope you are able to understand. So either you can write in this way, or better way will be don't show charge here, put it in a bracket and put the charge outside the bracket. So NH4, because after sharing its electron completely, all the bonds will be equal, that is covalent bond, and you can show the charge outside the bracket. All the 4 bonds will be just covalent bond, almost equal. Okay, you got it? Chalo. Now I'm going to tell you about hydronium ions, how hydronium ion is formed, how H2 is again going to attack on H positive. This was my H2, I hope you won't forget it. Hydrogen with oxygen having 2 electron pair. Hydrogen is like, I am coming, and from where it is coming, I'll tell you in coming 1 minute. And it's like, I need 1 electron pair, please give it to me, I'll be stable. It's transferring its electron completely. See, either you show it in this way, that just make a dative bond from oxygen to hydrogen showing the transfer of electron, or OH, as this oxygen gave its electron to hydrogen, and you will show the positive charge here. That means this is nothing but H3O positive, called as hydronium ion. Pretty much clear, right? And now I'll tell you how that happens. This part is super clear. I told you all the 3 bonds will become same now after making the entire bonds, and you can show the charge on oxygen. All right, let's see what I had to tell you, the structure of OH ion now, and why we need to tell you this, why I need to discuss this, because you will understand how my OH ion is formed. This was my water, right? This is having 2 electron pair. this hydrogen is like, I'm getting some force and I need to leave this water molecule. So what it will do is like, I am giving my electron pair to you and you keep it to yourself, make myself free. So how this is dissociating? H, this O, having two electron pair, this electron pair is completely being transferred to oxygen, make one more electron pair, as oxygen got these electron, negative charge, and this H positive is lost. So did you get how we get this hydroxyl ion? From water only, when water dissociates itself, right? This is the structure. I'm not wrong. You got it? Yes. So the point is, my water can show self-ionization. One water molecule will tell to the other molecule that let's combine, and in that combination process, one will dissociate and going to combine with the other. So it will dissociate in this way, that we did discuss, and going to combine with the other water molecule. So this H positive came from one of the water molecule only, going to combine with other water molecule to give you hydronium ion. That is nothing but your what? Self-ionization. Self-ionization, one molecule is pushing the other molecule to ionize and combine. That's what self-ionization. And self-ionization of water is giving us ions like hydronium ions and OH ions, right? Because H is combined, OH is left. We are going to get this ion, and this is something that is actually there in water and going to attack on whatever you are going to mix with the water. Amazing chemistry, right? That same thing happened to your ammonia also. So one of the question I need to ask, tell me, what will happen when you have two ammonia molecule? How to show self-ionization? With this double-headed arrow, because they can reverse this process. That one water molecule is somehow pushing the other water molecule to ionize, and this is like going to combine hydronium ions and OH ions. Same process can happen to ammonia. I really want to know the products, so do let me know in the comment section, and I will tell that who gave the answer very fast in the comment section, and I'll tell your name, okay, in the session, definitely. So what you got from the session? I hope coordinate covalent bonding is pretty much clear, that it is covalent bonding because it's sharing of electron, but in what sense? One will believe in sharing and will give to other, okay? Coordinate covalent bonding, a part of sharing. And it's not like a complete ionized kind of a molecule that we are going to get. So your question is, give one example of coordinate covalent bond other than the discussed example. Can metals form coordinate covalent bonds? So interesting question. So in a way you are having 3 questions. Feel free to answer in different comments all your answers. Do let everyone know about this channel because that's important. Share it to your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. Do like the video. This is the must. Okay everyone, so in today's session we learnt about coordinate covalent bond, and this topic is very much completed, and next session will be our doubt discussion. So be ready with it, and you can take your subscription. You can choose your subscription wisely at our platform by visiting the link that you know, by selecting your grade, and by selecting the perfect subscription for 1 month, 3 months and 6 months. Do not forget to apply this code to get maximum 40% discount also. AGE Anubha Gaur, AG ma'ams, okay, E for English channel and Pro for the subscription. Okay everyone, so do remember it. And what I have to say, thank you so much for being here. Do support us. Reach out to me on my email ID, that's anubha.gaur@vedantu.com. I'll keep on meeting you with the same josh and energy and so much informative sessions. So do watch it, do subscribe it, hit the bell icon and share it to your friends. This is it for today. We'll meet again. Until then, take care of yourself. All the very best. You all can do it. You will do it. I'm there with you. Take care. Bye-bye.